He had his own car, his own life. She hadn't quite gotten used to that yet, but she was trying her best. He'd be off to MIT in a few short months, and that would be a much more brutal adjustment. The streetlights tapered off until White Oak was a black ribbon in the night, and Evelyn's brain finally pushed an important question to the forefront. Why had Gary been driving on old Highway 23? His office was miles past it, and this far north, old 23 was nothing but a 2-lane road tunneling through patches of forest and wetland until it hit the next suburb 10 miles away. She reached the deserted intersection and took a right as instructed. 2 minutes later, her headlights flashed off something reflective on the left side of the road. Evelyn slowed and watched a silhouette walk out onto the blacktop. When the headlights caught him, she breathed a sigh of relief. Gary looked fine, a little rumpled, but not even limping. She pulled up next to him. "Gary?" she gasped as she lowered the window and reached for his hand. "What happened?"
"Oh, dear."
He gave her fingers only a brief squeeze before he pulled his hand away and scrubbed it over his face. "Did you hit it?"
"No, but I probably should have. Turn around and pull past the car. I've got a rope in the emergency kit."
Oh, of course he had rope. He was always meticulously prepared, never caught by surprise. Except by that damn deer. She bit back a random smile and made a very careful 3-point turn, aware of the soft shoulder and the ditch beyond. A cool green swamp smell drifted up from the wet woods past her headlights. Shivering in the cold, she wished now that she'd grabbed a jacket instead of water. In fact, she wished she were still under her down duvet, sleeping right through the ringing phone. He could have called a tow truck. The interior lights clicked on around her when Gary opened the back hatch. Evelyn blinked stupidly before she climbed out to help. Her legs were thick and clumsy as she rounded the SUV.
"Get back in the car," Gary ordered. "We need to do this quickly."
"Why?" she asked. He snatched the rope from the hidden well where the jack was stored. His voice went harsh.
"Why?"
She glanced toward the BMW sitting pale and lifeless in the ditch as if it were hiding. "Have you been drinking?"
"Christensen and I had a couple of scotches. Just get back in the car."
"Why are you being so rude?" He blew air through his teeth and crouched down to tie a knot around the hitch.
"I'm sorry. I'm a little freaked out about the accident."
Jaw clenched in irritation. She stared at him until he looked up.
"Maybe you could be understanding. I thought I was dead there for a minute."
"Fine." She tipped her chin in acknowledgement and climbed back behind the wheel. She'd probably be snappy too if she were worried about a DUI arrest. Then again, she should be worrying about a DUI for herself, shouldn't she? Anytime she stopped concentrating, the world went a little fuzzy at the edges. She'd never had to function after taking one of the new pills. They were strong. She wanted to go back to sleep right here. But at least now she understood why he'd called her and not a tow truck or the police. Dr. Gary Tester could not be arrested for drunk driving. That would be quite a black mark on his prestigious psychiatry practice. She watched in the side mirror as he dragged the rope down the steep ditch toward the BMW. Though it would add to his grumpiness, she felt a deep burn of satisfaction that he was likely ruining a pair of $400 shoes in the mud and water. He'd become persnickety in middle age. He liked being better than everyone else. She hoped his loafers stank of swamp now. Not a very generous thought, when she should be thankful he hadn't been hurt or killed. If she remembered this in the morning, she'd blame it on the pills. A few seconds later, a car door closed, and the headlights of the BMW came on.
"All right," he shouted. "Easy."
Evelyn put the SUV in gear and crept forward. She felt the resistance of the rope pulling taut. Then nothing. The Range Rover didn't move at all. She hit the gas and the engine roared.
"Try a lower gear."
Right. Evelyn shifted down and tried again. The SUV roared, and the BMW's engine hit a high pitch, and both vehicles began to move. Thank God.